Bro,
Okay, go.
this camera on my sister's computer is like at the bottom, not at the top. So like my fingers are at the bottom. It's fucking me up. Like I keep looking. I'm looking up, but I'm just looking at your guys' fucking faces. Kind of annoying. All right, we're back.
I get that a lot.
2 week little layoff. We're back. Big fight weekend, multiple stuff. UFC was great. If we had more time, we talk about it. Nate Diaz is a badass. There was the Sons and Four guy. He was hilarious. But it was YouTubers versus TikTokers. Did either of you watch it?
No,
I did not. I watched the UFC fights.
Did you guys like watch highlights or anything? Or like
yeah, I saw like highlights.
Yeah, I saw some highlights.
Yeah,
there was only one TikToker that won.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. The TikTok highlights have been kind of funny. People just like thrashing all the guys that lost, especially Bryce Hall. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. I didn't watch it either. I just was kind of following it, and one of my buddies was watching it, and he was texting me the whole time during it. Taylor Holder actually had a draw.
Yeah.
But it was literally it was 49-45, 49-45, 50-43, and they said it was a draw.
Yeah, bro, judgments in boxing and MMA are so, like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah,
they changed it like the very next day, right?
On Monday morning, the Boxing Association came out and said, like, no, Taylor Holder won. I don't know. It was just kind of like, so I don't know. It was kind of funny because, like, I don't know if you guys, like, followed it leading up, but, like, all these TikTokers were talking, like, crazy shit the whole time. Taylor Holder kept saying how he's, like, a real boxer. Like, he's, like...
They thought he would be, like, a clear winner.
Yeah, no, they said he was going to beat his ass and, like, he might, like, move on to professionally fight. Like, that's how good he is. And, like, he threw, I think it was, like, 9 or 11 punches in 5 rounds total.
Yeah, he was, like the punches were completely different, like score wise.
Yeah, and he said that like he threw more punches, but he didn't land many. It's like, dude, if he lands 33 and you land 3, it doesn't matter if he throws 250 and you throw 5. He still is winning the fight. Like that doesn't make any sense to argue that. Yeah, but thankfully they switched that up just because like
that was the guy that fought Jake Paul.
Yeah, and Jake Paul beat his ass. Yeah.
Jake Paul out.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Those TikTokers are kind of like annoying as fuck. Like the YouTubers were honestly just kind of like going about their business, like kind of just being funny. Like the one YouTuber was like, I was at the strip club till 4 a.m. and I still beat his ass and like all that stuff. But Bryce Hall, man, that's a tough look. Like in his interview right after, he's like, I'm not a fighter, never said I was. And like every TikTok's like, in his promo video, he's like, I've been in 40 street fights. Like, dude, you're such a tool. Like, okay, this is my question. I was kind of wondering this. What do you think he should do? Do you think he goes not dark mode, but like kind of off the grid? Or do you think he just like eats it up and like stays relevant? Like not relevant, but just kind of like is like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to roll with it. I'm 0-1 boxer. Like, what would you do, I guess?
I mean, at this point, I feel like if he just ghosts and doesn't like post stuff for a while, he looks even dumber. If he just rolls with it and takes his L, I don't think people are gonna backlash him and talk trash as much. Like he made fun of himself the very next day.
Yeah, but he's so soft. Like I think this is a front for like a day. Once it like, if this like thrashing of him continues online, I don't think he can handle it. Like when Dave Portnoy like came after him for like 2 seconds, he bitched. Like he complained the whole fucking time. Like I don't know if he can handle it, but I agree. I think he's got to just own it. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, making fun of yourself is much better than like you got to beat other people to the punchline kind of thing.
For sure. For sure. I just think he's so fucking soft.
I mean, this market is really just kind of getting started with like the celebrity fighting too. So I mean.
He'll end up. I guarantee he'll box again. He'll box someone.
Right. So
yeah, but he'll be an undercard though. He will not be a main event guy anymore.
I know they tried doing like a TikTok or some kind of show on the was it like Netflix or something? I think it'd be kind of cool if they did like a mini series or like a mini documentary of like all those dudes. What was that one show called where like you have all those UFC guys that are trying to like?
Oh yeah, the final, not the final contender. I know what you're talking about though.
They're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all like fighting, and whoever like wins that gets like
Yes.
fight in the UFC or whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool if they did something like that, just because one, I think they'd get more people to buy the fight, and I do think like these kids yelling at each other for clout is pretty funny.
It is. It's just kind of fucking annoying though. Like when they say all this
it's
shit.
annoying, but it's
just annoying how they're like cool as fuck with each other. Like right after they're like, yo, you got to give respect.
All these famous dudes are all like under 5'9". I think that is hilarious.
Yeah, they all are really small. Do you know Austin McBroom played college basketball?
No.
Where?
He played Central Michigan his freshman year. He's from California. Then he transferred to Eastern Washington. His senior year, he averaged 20 points per game. He was actually pretty good. Like,
damn.
Yeah, I was listening to BFF's podcast, and like he said, like I'm a real athlete. Like he went to St. Louis, I think, for a year, and then he transferred to Eastern Washington. But like he averaged, so I was like looked it up, and like he wasn't like just one of those dudes who barely played. But I was like, damn, okay, good for you. But yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting. Like I do think the new celebrity thing is like the new way to go. Like I think that's boxing. Like you have obviously Canelo, Tyson Fury, and like Deontay Wilder, Ryan Garcia. Like you have a few guys, but like I don't think enough to like until other than when they fight, like it's not really going to be shit. Boxing is a celebrity sport now. Like that's just what it is.
So it tracks them. UFC is just it dominated and it took it over, like in terms of the realm of fighting.
Yeah, but now like celebrity boxing's taking over UFC. Like they're putting out more numbers. Well, like they said, Adesanya, or however you say his name, his pay was like $900,000.
Oh, that's more Dana White just not paying his fighters.
No, I know, but like I don't give a fuck. You're telling that big of a card, and obviously he got pay-per-view sales. They're saying he probably like ended up coming out like $5 to $7 million.
Definitely.
Bryce Hall got $5 million the moment he stepped in the ring.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm one of the best UFC fighters in the world. Like, I mean, sooner or later, something's going to happen, though. Someone's going to give. Whether Dana White wants to give money or what, something's going to give. Like, as much as people hate Jake Paul, like, he's been sticking up for these people. Like, dude, these guys got to get paid, which he's 100% right.
Get paid, dick. The one that that's why people are turning down title fights now in McGregor's weight class to fight McGregor because they know it's their
right. Right, and it's like fighting. Your career could be over in 1 second. 1 second. So it's like, I mean, that dude fought and he kept fighting. He broke his arm, and it's like, dude, what if he really broke it like horribly and he can never fight again? It's like, dude, these guys deserve to get fucking paid. It's insane that they're not.
That's why. There you go, Nagy.
Like all like this like illegal streaming too is kind of fucked for UFC. Like the numbers are totally distorted on like how much money these guys actually could be making. Like it's wild to think like how much money they really could be making if there was like no streams.
No, because I disagree completely. There's only one or two guys who benefit off the pay-per-view sales.
I'm saying the athletes themselves, like the numbers would just be even bigger.
Not really. Like Dana White's walking away with like $250 million a year. Like
he makes so much money. Dude,
I don't care about Dana. I'm saying like the athletes. Like I'd want the athletes.
But what I'm saying is they can afford to pay these guys with or without illegal streaming. Dana White's walking away with the UFC profits so much fucking money.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't pay these guys anything, illegal streaming or not. Like and like these guys get promised like Conor McGregor gets promised like 20 to 25 mil with or without pay-per-view sales. So the illegal streaming does nothing for him or nothing against him.
Right.
Adesanya, maybe a little bit, but like I gotta think it's not that much. Like how the fuck is this whoever streamed or whoever broadcasted the Bryce Hall fight? How do they put them? You know how many illegal people streamed that? Aiden Ross was illegally streaming on like his YouTube page. Like, so you're telling me that company has that much money to just throw around like that? Like they're saying Bryce Hall got 5 when he stepped in the ring. Austin McBroom got 2 or 3. Then they got a chunk of the pay-per-view sales on top of that. That is way more. That's probably almost combined what those two made. is probably $3 million more than what the entire UFC card got paid combined.
Like John, that's why John Jones stopped. Like he basically said, "I'm not fighting Ngannou unless you both give us 10 mil before when we step in the ring."
That's what I'm saying though. Is like I don't think illegal streaming does that. Like, dude, they signed that crazy ESPN Plus deal. Like they got a buttload of money off of that one. On top of that, illegal streaming or not, the first stream that they had, their first big stream, fucking went out for 2.5 hours. You couldn't even watch it. I think it was McGregor's first fight with Poirier.
It was like it kept going in and out.
Yes, and you couldn't even watch it. So it's like legal. Maybe I should have illegal streamed it then. But I just like. I mean, yeah, they probably would make a little more money, but like, first off, you're never gonna stop it. I don't care what Dana White like thinks or says. You're just never fully gonna stop it. Secondly, like, dude, it's tough to say like we'd be making more money without him when you're fucking walking away every year with just whatever you say the number and he cashes it. So
yeah.
All right, let's move on though. NBA playoffs. Zach's Suns are moved on. The only series that's wrapped up. Then every other series is 2-2. Let's talk about the Suns real quick. I have a few things to say about the Suns, then you guys can say your piece of what you think. One, I think they are getting way too much credit for, like, they swept the Nuggets. The Nuggets fucking blow, first off. They don't have Jamal Murray. Michael Porter Jr. basically is going to have back surgery right when the season ended. Will Barton didn't come back till game 3. Like, it's not that impressive. Like, let's be honest. I don't think that's that impressive. I think it's actually looks even worse, like, that the Trailblazers couldn't beat the Nuggets. Like, that, I think that makes that look even way worse. And two, I think Chris Paul is getting way too much fucking credit. Devin Booker is playing like an MVP. Mikal Bridges is playing insane. Their defense as a whole is, I think, it's either 1 or 2 in the playoffs. DeAndre Ayton shooting like 77%, double-double machine. Jay Crowder is a huge pickup. He's guarding everyone's, best wing, and he's actually shooting threes well in the playoffs for like the first time in his career. And like I said, they beat a banged-up Nuggets team, and then they beat the Lakers because Anthony Davis got hurt. Now, like, that series might go to 7 if Anthony Davis doesn't get hurt, and the Suns still could win. But, like, come on, let's not act like Caldwell Pope missed 2 games. He's a starter. He's a third. Honestly, this year he's probably the Lakers' third best player because the Lakers' supporting cast was horrendous. Anthony Davis, I mean, he didn't play the last game. Like, he got hurt. So, like, I don't know. Like, everyone's thinking the Suns are going to win it all. And also I think Devin Booker deserves way more credit than Chris Paul does for their success.
It's all those blowjobs, man.
And Chris Paul wasn't a part of the blowjobs.
That's crazy.
He played a really good series in the sweep.
He did. I agree. But game 4, they were winning with or without him. Like, that game was just a blowout. Game 3, he did take over in the third quarter. But, like, against the Lakers, in 2 of their 4 wins, he had under 7 points.
Yeah, Devin carried big time in the Lakers series.
And I think game one when they ended up winning by like 12, there was one game, I can't remember what it was. The Suns ended up winning. It might have been game 5. Chris Paul played like 19 minutes. Like, he didn't even play over 20 minutes. It's like,
well, isn't that the game he got hurt?
No, he got hurt in game 1.
That was the game he played like 22 minutes, right?
No, game 5 he did. Because it was like a 7-point game when he went out on the first quarter, and then Cam Payne and someone else like literally went on like their own 20-2 run.
Yeah.
And then I think he came in for a little bit, got banged up a little bit. Like, he didn't do anything in that game. So it's like, come on, what are we doing? Like, I think they have I think he's great for. It's just like, dude, like, I think he's getting way too much credit for beating 2 banged up teams too. I think the Suns are wrong, but like, Devin Booker's a fucking MVP.
Yeah, I'm going to discredit. Just Devin Booker's our best player, absolutely.
In their 2 losses, Devin Booker averages like 17 points per game. And if he scores over 20, they haven't lost.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they've only played 2 series, but
I don't think they were going to have any problem with the Nuggets with Jamal Murray out at all. Like, I don't think going into that series, I don't think anybody thought they would lose that series.
100%. I don't. Yeah, like the
sweep was. I guess the sweep was impressive, but I don't think anyone thought in the NBA that the Nuggets really had a chance in that series without Jamal Murray.
100%, but also like they're either gonna win in 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Like,
it wasn't going to be a series.
right? Like even if they didn't sweep them, they were gonna win one in Denver and then come back and close it out in Phoenix.
I mean, because truthfully, you can let Jokic just do his thing and you can still beat them.
But Ayton's like maybe the best defender for Jokic in the league. So like they really lucked out there. But
when they kicked him out of Game 4, that solidified that game over. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like
you see the video of his brothers?
Yeah, his brothers would have killed Devin Booker. But I get like he wound up, smacked, but like, bro, like give him a fucking flagrant one and a technical foul. Like throwing him out. He's the MVP with the team that's about to get swept.
If any other like MVP does that, like Steph, LeBron, KD, James Harden, they're not getting kicked out for that.
Probably not. But honestly, the way this league's going, I really don't know.
Jokic
I don't know.
Such a big motherfucker. When you see a guy like go down and hold his face from like a hit from a bigger guy, yeah, it
was just I mean, the refs determined Game 4 in the Suns' favor once you kick out Jokic.
100%.
Yeah, I mean that's just giving the Suns the game.
Suns probably still win no matter what, but like the game's over.
The game's over the minute Jokic.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think? Who do you want to see him play in the West Coast Finals, like West Coast Championship?
Clippers.
No, I think honestly, like if Kawhi plays like he's played the last 2 games, not the first 2 games, the last 2 games, and they get their supporting cast to play well, I mean, like they have guys who can defend they can put Kawhi on Chris Paul, and then they can also put PG on Devin Booker. Like they have guys who can defend the Sun. Like I probably would rather see them play Clippers.
Oh, 100%. The Jazz are boring as fuck.
Yeah, but the Jazz, like,
Donovan Mitchell's exciting, but that's it.
Yeah, right. But
the Jazz, I think, could beat the Suns, though. Like, they could. Yeah. They are boring, but they could beat it. Like, they are boring, but they're probably the most boring team that, like, was the best 3-point shooting team in the league ever, like, in a season.
It's like
also, Rudy Gobert is much better at defending a pick-and-roll scenario than fucking Jokic was.
Oh, Jokic can guard anyone. Yeah. Who do you want to see, Clippers or Nuggets? Or Clippers or Jazz?
Definitely.
I'd rather see Clippers. I think it'd be a better matchup.
I think the Jazz like definitely they're like the best like team, like as a whole. Like they just work so well together. Like it's crazy how dominant they were a majority of the season. Like they won so many games by like 15, 20 points this year. It's just
Jazz.
Yeah, you have to be like and no one was having like 40, 50 point games. Like they're just stone cold shooters on that team.
Yeah, during the regular season, Donovan Mitchell wasn't scoring 45 for him. Like he was just scoring like a steady 26, 27. Right. But I think they had a stretch this year at some point. Like they didn't have the best record in the league. I think they had a stretch this year at some point where like they covered in like 27 straight games.
That was gonna be mine. Yeah, they covered like 25 out of 30 games.
Yeah, and this was like they were like having like 9.5 spreads. Like they were having
11.5, 12.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and then they would like go play a good team and be the underdog and win. And then like
on the road.
It was crazy. What do you think about the Eastern Conference then? So you got like first off, Embiid last night. Like everyone's like, oh, you have the torn meniscus. Like then don't fucking play.
That was
like. He just kept shooting jump shots, though.
That was so bad.
It literally looked like he was throwing the game.
He still might have shot better than Ben Simmons half of his games.
No, because Ben Simmons
not in the playoffs, just in general. I like making fun of Ben Simmons.
Dude, Joel Embiid shot 4 of 20 last night.
I know.
He's the only player. He's the only player to ever shoot 0 for 12.5.
Oh God.
He had 17 points and 21 boards, but he shot 4 of 20.
And
that's some Russell Westbrook numbers if I've ever.
And it's insane because he wasn't hitting anything. In like the final 4 minutes, he would literally post up, go to the 3-point line, take one dribble, and shoot like a fadeaway jump shot. It's like, what are you doing?
Dude, I'm pretty sure he also – doesn't he lead the 76ers in turnovers?
wouldn't be shocked because a lot of times he gets doubled, he just gives the ball away.
I think he's like top 5, like 4 straight years in turnovers.
Because like Ben Simmons doesn't really turn the ball over, Tobias Harris doesn't really turn the ball over. Ben Simmons can't shoot, but he doesn't really turn the ball over. Seth Curry definitely doesn't turn the ball over a lot.
LeBron's usually pretty high in turnovers.
Yeah, but he's averaging 10 assists.
I know.
Embiid's averaging like 2.
I just
he
think
probably is.
It's LeBron has the most turnovers in history now. Like he like made that mark he hit.
I mean, Westbrook and Harden also have high turnovers.
No, I know. It was just funny. Just like
when you have the ball in your hands as a guard,
it's just a little stab at
not considered a true guard. Like you could probably say like Chris Paul is like one of the only guards that has like more high assist games and low turnovers than like Westbrook or like Harden, like especially Westbrook because he just goes so hard at the rim.
I think it'd be wild to see the Bucks actually pull this series win off against the Nets.
Dude, with the injuries the Nets have, it's definitely possible.
But
because I don't even think it's really pulling it off though. Like the Nets are done.
They're hurt.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think the Bucks are going to buck and then they're going to lose to either the 76ers or the Hawks. Like I just don't know. Giannis needs to get. I feel bad that Giannis is going to stay in Milwaukee, but like.
First off, his first 2 games, like if he plays decent in game 1, they win.
Right. I just mean like the team is like boring. It's kind of like Utah, like it's boring basketball.
Well, it was what game 3 they let the Nets come back, right? It was like 30-13.
It is boring. It's not really boring basketball. They score a lot. They've been very boring in this series, though. But, like, normally they score a shit ton. I think they're trying to just grind it out because, like, the Nets can't stay healthy.
That'd be so cool if, like, Damian went to Milwaukee.
But they can't. They have no money. They already signed Drew Holiday to a 4-year max contract. Chris Middleton to a 4-year max contract. Giannis to the 5-year max. So, like, they can't do shit. Now, I don't know. Do they trade Damian? Would they trade Damian for Drew straight up?
No.
I don't know. Portland probably doesn't do that, but
Definitely not. Dave's too good.
But like the Bucks, I don't see the problem with the Sixers is like Embiid is clearly not 100% by any means, and the more games that they have to play in this series, and the less rest he gets, it's just going to continue to kill him. And at some point, he's really going to hurt himself. Because he always does. The dude just can't stay healthy. So, like, I don't – like, the Bucks might sweep the Hawks, honestly, the way that they match up against each other. The Bucks against a healthy 76ers, I agree with you. But, like, Danny Green's out 3 weeks. I think that's, like, a very underrated, like, injury to the 76ers. And then Joel Embiid's not 100%. So, it's like – I mean, if the Bucks could win, they could win. Game 5 is clearly the biggest thing. They said Kyrie's probably out for the rest of the series. So,
and James, how long till James Harden hamstring gives out again?
There was 0% chance James Harden was playing until Kyrie Irving got hurt, which means his hamstring is not even close to probably 80%, which is like, are we going to see an Anthony Davis situation where he's just limping around there and then like he tries to go hard and he just fucking pulls it again?
It's like, all right, he's done. He's out of the game.
Right. It's like, and at that point, he's probably just hurting the team more than he's helping them because he's just probably shooting and doing his thing again. But
all right, what finals do you guys want to see then?
Do I want to see?
What's your like? Considering people stay healthy, like.
Okay, a healthy, easily Clippers Nets.
Okay,
that's the most intriguing matchup. But what do I think is going to happen? Like, yeah, I want to see that. What I think is going to happen is probably the Clippers versus the Bucks.
All right.
I want to see Suns versus Nets. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. What do you think will happen?
Clippers versus Bucks. The Nets are injured. I don't.
Yeah. And Kyrie's got a bad ankle sprain, which means when he comes back, one tweak he'll be out another. Right. Who do you want? Who do you think?
I think it'd be. I mean, I think the Suns and the Hawks are like super similar, so I think seeing them play would be fun. But I think it'll be
It'd be sweep city.
depending on the health, obviously. Uh, I'm I think Joel will stay healthy. Hopefully, he's got to stay healthy at least some point in his career. So
No.
I'll say I think Jazz 76ers.
Ooh, the league would hate that,
I
but
know the
yeah,
league would hate that, but I think that's why
the
I think
league would also hate like Suns, Bucks.
Oh
Like
God, yeah.
they're praying it's Nets, Clippers, but like
I
they
think
need
Suns Nets wouldn't be too bad either for.
Suns, Nets because of the Nets, but like they need the Nets or the Clippers. They need one of them to make it, and then like I think the Clippers versus the Bucks just because of Giannis. But like if you have the Bucks
Yeah.
versus the Suns, it's like eh. But like
I think there's
the
plenty of.
Hawks versus the Suns, people would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. The ratings for that NBA Finals would be so down.
I think there's plenty
Imagine-
of casual NBA fans rooting for the Suns right now too. So that's why kind of why I think the
Yeah,
Suns,
but they're already gonna watch. You need like the Clippers with Kawhi or KD, which would bring in someone who doesn't normally watch. Like I don't think
but like if they're playing the Nets already, like those fans are already going to be watching because the Nets are playing. In my opinion,
if they're playing the Nets, that's what I said. You
Yeah,
need the
yeah,
Nets or the
that-
Clippers. You need one
that
of
would
them.
be
Like
fun.
I bet if you put obviously it's LeBron, so it's much different. But like if you put the Suns' second round TV ratings against their first round TV ratings, it's probably not even close.
Probably night and day.
Right. So like the Suns maybe in like 2 to 3 years with Booker and Ayton being young and like they develop a fan base, but like right now, and it is a big market. They just have sucked for so many years.
Stuck for 10 years, basically.
Yeah. So, all right. Do you have 15 things written down?
I was kind of just thinking them in my head, but I
You
got
have
You don't have to do. You don't have to do 15 things. I want to do this first and see where we're at. Then you don't have to do 15 things. Just
Okay.
do what's off the top of your head. Then.
All right. So we're gonna do. You're talking about what we talked about, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do the overrated, underrated, or properly rated. So I'll throw something out. You guys,
Yep.
can, and I'll be
You
the
want to go
tie-
first, Michael, or am I saying
I'll be a
first?
tiebreaker if you guys disagree.
All right. You go
All
first.
right.
You can.
Okay.
What the 2021 quarterback draft class?
Ooh. I mean, I think we can't rate it yet.
I mean, it's
And,
like,
and you're,
the
are
hype-
you talking
the
in
hype
terms
right
of
now.
hype?
yeah, like the hype right now.
So you're saying like, how good do we think they'll be, and is that rated appropriate with how people are rating them?
Sure, something along those lines. Yeah.
Well, I mean, because we can't really rate them. I would say probably appropriately rated, because I think everyone's counting on a bust, and everyone's counting on like one quarterback to be very good. And I would say probably appropriately rated. I don't know. I think it's tough right now. I honestly haven't
I guess
even
more
seen
just
anything.
like the
since-
first round too. I'm not really including like a Kellen Mond. Fuck that. Just like
Yeah,
You're,
no,
talking,
I-
you're talking like the first round guy of
So, like,
Zach Wilson.
the five
dude from
first
State,
rounders.
Trevor
Yeah, no,
Lawrence.
I honestly haven't even seen anything since the draft. Like I haven't even kept up with those guys since the draft. I did see that your guys' boy won't start week 1. I don't know why you ever thought he would, but
Whoa, I never thought he would.
Smoke
I'm
screen.
talking to the
Smoke
offensive
screen.
coordinator up there. There's no chance he's starting week 1.
Probably not, but he could play week 1.
That's
Dude, they're
not a
not gonna-
good thing.
he's not gonna
Yeah, like no.
I'm just kidding. I think we just take the L against the Rams, and then he'll probably start like week 3, week 4, probably.
You don't want to be down like 21 points, throw him in there, and Aaron Donald jumps on him.
Especially with like
Oh.
this O line is going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah. Zach, underrated, appropriate related, or
I'll just say appropriately rated. I want to say overrated, but it's like you said, they're going to expect one guy to be a bust. I think that's going to be Zach Wilson. There's a experiment in the guy from North Dakota State just because he hasn't played football in basically a year and a half, 2 years now.
That's
And then-
wrong.
Well, he's played what, one game?
Yeah, in a year and a half.
That's not a lot of football.
Well, you said none.
And then Justin Fields being taken late, I guess maybe helps him. But I mean, everyone thinks that Trevor Lawrence is going to be a stud, but obviously
Right.
he's with the Jaguars and he's with a brand new first-year head coach in the NFL. So I think it's going to be interesting. But I'll say it's appropriate related, just based off your scenario too.
Next one.
All right. Big story right now. The problem with the foreign substance of baseball. Do you think it's the problem is being approached? That's kind of an ass backwards way of asking. But do you think the problem, like, is it underrated how they're approaching it over, over, meaning like.
Do we think they're approaching it the right way, I guess is what you're kind of saying, or
Right.
no?
Like, how
I don't know.
big of a problem it is? Is it?
I was listening to Big Cat talk about it, and he was just like saying how like the MLB like turns a blind eye, and then it's like a public story. Then they're like, "Oh no, we don't want this," but it's like they knew about it probably 5 years ago.
Right.
So I think they're like it's Rob Manfred. He hasn't handled something correctly in his entire existence on planet Earth. The dude's a fucking bum. So no, I think he's handling it terribly.
So
first off.
Overrated.
First off, they're gonna blame Trevor Bauer and Garrett Cole. We all know that, and it's like, yeah, you think those are the only two fucking pitchers in the
No,
entire
there's a
league who
lot.
are using it? Like, there's a shit ton.
There's a lot.
Like, I don't know if you guys listen to Bobby Valentine on Part of My Take, but he was talking about how like every time something got caught with cheating, every other team was like, "Oh, I'm glad we weren't the ones who got caught, but we did it too." So it's like,
right. Everyone cheats.
Rob Manfred has handled this horrendously.
My thing on it, Spider Tack should be like looked at.
That
Because
shit
that makes the
glue.
spin rate on your ball much better.
Yeah.
Rosin and sunscreen and pine tar have been used in baseball for years.
Right.
Like Tyler Glasnow basically just came out with like a report today saying he hasn't used any type of he hasn't used rosin and sunscreen now for his last two starts. He said now because he's relearning how to learn the grip of a baseball in the middle of a season that he's saying because he couldn't use rosin and sunscreen that this injury happened because he's trying to throw the ball at a different basically the way he's gripping a baseball is harder than what he usually does because he doesn't have the rosin and the sunscreen to throw it. I just favorited what he said.
Right.
So, how do you think they handled it?
When it comes to Spider Tack, I think it's properly rated. When it comes to rosin and sunscreen and pine tar, it's overrated.
Okay. Last one. How do you think they handled it?
Definitely probably about proper. I mean, I think they're trying to wait to get a better handle on everyone that's using the what's it called? The super whatever.
Spider Tack.
The Spider Tag. Yeah. I think they want to get a better idea of everyone before they start handing out punishments so they can punish everyone.
Oh, they're not punishing anyone.
Or at least they can send out notices to the hey, we know
Dude, there's going to be guys that get suspended when this comes into fruition on June 21st. I think it starts.
right.
There's going to be 10-day MLB suspensions.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's nothing.
Sorry.
And for your team, if you're in a pennant race, that's 2 starts.
For sure. Especially if it's one of your top guys.
Yeah, but you're cheating. It should not be a 10-game suspension. You're cheating.
I mean,
I don't see rosin and sunscreen and pine tar as cheating.
I mean, this is.
You don't think that's an advantage?
Every guy does.
Dude, it's not the point. It's it's
But
an
it's been
advantage.
baseball for forever.
So why is it banned?
They just started it. They're just now enforcing it.
It's been banned, correct?
It's rosin and sunscreen hasn't been banned.
Okay, so if you use that, will you get a suspension? Not now, obviously, but if you got caught using it 3 starts ago, will you get a
No.
suspension?
No.
Okay, so
It's just the different foreign substance.
right, so that's illegal. So how is that?
And I think it's wild. We look back in the early 2000s, dudes using fluids and they got harped out of the league. And now pitchers, it's just oh, whatever. They're their spin rate's gone up 20, 25%. Who fuck cares?
Yeah, but that's my point. Is that's why it's so poorly managed. This situation is
I don't think they know how they're gonna take care of it. That's why they haven't done anything.
I don't think they can really take care of it. They'll probably fucking ban some dude who has like a 12 ERA who's a bullpen guy.
Right.
But like, come on, like they're not. Garrett Cole might get he'll appeal it.
Right.
Might get it's not gonna go that much. But like, if it's a banned substance, that's cheating.
Yeah, I mean, there was a video of Trevor Bauer like while the Dodgers were taking BP and he had the start. He was literally like he took the can like out of his fucking back pocket and like started applying it on the inside of his glove, like not even trying to hide
catchers have it on them.
Which hey, props to Trevor. Like maybe he's doing that on purpose, so like it brings more attention because maybe he wants like it to get.
He wanted the spider tack to be known because he said the Astros they've been doing it for like 3 or 4 years because like Verlander went there and like revitalized his career.
But that is why this thing has been so poorly handled. Is because it's someone just broke the news and now they're acting like it's a big deal. So now they're banning this other stuff when in reality, players, coaches, owners, people in the league have all known this stuff has been fucking being used for the past 3 years, 5 years, however long, and it's a banned substance. But no one has said shit because it's like, oh, we use it. That's why this is the worst handled situation ever. They have no right to suspend anyone at this point because they managed this so poorly.
And to do it mid-season was really stupid.
So both of you can reverse what you said and agree that this was not appropriately handled.
I didn't even say.
Yeah, you did. You said appropriately handled.
I said proper for like they're kind of like looking into it, but they don't know. I said they don't know how to like put the punishments out. Like it's
because it was so badly managed. It was so badly managed.
Because they don't know I think they're waiting. Like I said, hopefully they can take care of it. But
I said the spider tack can be appropriately handled. I said it's overrated on the rosin.
Right. I agree with that. Because they don't want to mix in like the.
How are they appropriately handled when it's been being used for so long and now they're just coming to it?
They don't want to like get the two like mix like guys that are like not using like the spider tack stuff or whatever.
Right, but like, how is it appropriately handled when they knew this was going on and they said nothing for years and years and years?
That part's fucked up.
So it's not appropriately handled then.
But I was talking about like right now, like they're finally.
I thought you were the question of if they're trying to appropriately handle that. That's why I was.
I meant like right now, like they're like.
They're still not appropriately handling it.
I mean, they're at least talking about it.
Well, what are they going to do? Just come out in one day and say something? Like obviously they have to talk about it. It's a billion-dollar industry.
If they don't, then it's fucked. But like, the hope is that they do something. My hope is they do something by the All-Star break.
Okay, but if we're talking how
it goes into effect June 21st.
How many people you guys have basically said you think use it? So we're just not going to have pitchers for 10 days?
But that's the other thing.
Guys just aren't going to use it.
Right. I think some of the guys are using it.
So who's going to get suspended then? If you used it before, will you get suspended now?
No. It's after June 21st. If you're caught with an illegal substance with pine tar,
so no one's going to get suspended. So no one's going to get suspended.
I guarantee there's still going to be some pitcher that tries to use it.
No, I'm saying like from previously using it, no one's going to get suspended.
Probably not.
Okay, that is so poorly handled. I get what you're saying. You can't mix it up, but like that just means so it goes into effect June 21st. So like you can technically use it today.
Yeah.
Oh, that is what? What are we talking about? This is so poorly managed. Like it should be. They should have came in and said, "Wow, you can't use it." What's the holdup?
I don't know.
If it's illegal.
Glasnow had in his like interview today.
I don't care what Glasnow said. If it's illegal, why wait 10 days?
No, I'm just gonna read what he was saying though, because
I know he